Puck rolls back into the Detroit zone. They wave off any icing, and back after it, John Barrett. Barrett kicked it ahead. He was knocked down in his tracks by Langevin.
Been a standout for the Islanders in their Stanley Cup teams. And as you mentioned, at playoff time, he just comes to the front.
Matt Allen on the left wing and Nystrom on the right side, and Howson centering the line. Howson won the draw, but they whistled it down. They'll go through it again. Darryl Sittler centers the line for Detroit. They have moved Boldarev and Lane Lambert out with that line.
They didn't feel he was quite ready.
Tiger Williams came on, and there's an elbowing call. Tiger Williams just came on replacing Nystrom. He went right into the face-off circle, and I think he's going to get a penalty. I think Tiger Williams came on to see if he could handle Nystrom. He made a move, tried to get through, and there's no question of what Myers was just watching him.
The face-off was just as getting ready to drop the puck, and I just didn't see what
he gave Allen the elbow, but it was a very small one, and why Myers would call a penalty on that is beyond me. And Williams waited a long time and then looked at the referee with some disbelief, and I think that's one of those, if you're not Tiger Williams, you don't get it. The Islanders head back with Scott Howson. Down the left side, Howson over the line. Howson goes in, took the shot, and they score. I thought they could have had it on the short side.
He had it, but I don't know if Howson's going to get credit for it or the player breaking right down the middle. Nystrom, it's a bad goal to give up. He just outskated Darryl Sittler around the outside, cut in, took it on his backhand from an impossible angle, and it went in. It's Howson's goal, the first time up hockey player just called up today to fill in.
Puck actually bounced off Corrado. He looked to have the short side all covered. No, and it was touched by the player on the other side, Sid.
Well,
his first NHL goal.
Well, they're going to give it to Howson.
Scott Howson.
Now two of the Islanders move out. Over the line, the puck moved into the Detroit zone and given a bang along the boards was Alan Kerr. Young line now for the Islanders. Out there they have Handy and Kerr. Here's Handy coming out center ice. He was turned around. Tonelli has it. Tonelli back in. Tonelli with a drive. Mikheyev clears it away. Kelly Kissio. Kissio center ice pass now to Boldarev. Boldarev plays it, and now there's a fight going on over on the far side between Colin Campbell and young Alan Kerr, who just came up, and the two of them right in front of the Detroit bench are going at it. Kerr and Colin Campbell, the two of them go down on the ice. Kerr getting that right hand loose as they went to the ice, and the two linesmen get into it in a hurry. And into the Detroit zone with Howson. Play goes to the corner. Gallant went in after it. And now it'll be Danny Gare. The penalty is over. Gare comes out center ice. Over the line. Trying to move in was Gallant. He was upended. On the check by Gord Lane. Played back into the New York zone. Digging in after it. John Barrett leading the rush. Had the skates pulled out from under him when crashing into the boards. It's still in the zone. Here's Gallant. He scores. Brought it right on around the top of the net. And just got it by Billy Smith. So the Red Wings have tied the hockey game. The goal coming at 1 minute and 55 seconds. So a couple of first National Hockey League goals in this game on a 1-1 tie. Now Trottier shooting it deep into the Detroit zone. Boldarev tipped it away. Still deep in the Detroit end. They jam in along the boards. Now it's dug loose by Gord Lane. There's a shot. They score! Brad Park back at the line trying to work away from Gilbert. Boldarev put it out in front, but Duguay's shot was blocked. Blocked by Gord Lane, and they clear it down the ice, and here's Gilbert going after it. Over the line, right into the Detroit goal. And Mikheyev stayed right with him and made the save.
Oh, there's the biggest save of the night on a breakaway. Clean-cut breakaway by Gilbert. Mikheyev stayed right with him. Gilbert went to his backhand. You often wonder why players do this. He gave a little deke and then pulled off to his backhand, and you just don't shoot a puck as well off the backhand as you do off the forehand.
Here's Tonelli heading back. He's got Trottier with him, and the pass didn't get through. Broken off by Larson, and Trottier takes it, but the net has been turned around. And now Tonelli tried to send it back to the line. He's being checked by Williams. Ladouceur took it to the boards. The other Sutter runs into him. Tonelli lays it back to Potvin with another drive, and he scores! Going in after it, Lambert pinned in along the boards by Gord Lane. They struggle there. Nystrom and Boldarev. Boldarev got it loose. Nystrom all over him. Boldarev put it right out in front. And the puck knocked away. Here's Kissio in the corner with it. Kissio centers it, went off a skate, back on the line to Greg Smith. Smith took a long bouncing shot, and Smith makes a save on that. Greg Smith to Billy Smith. And Howsam took the puck and failed to work it out. Now Billy Smith has been shaken up. He's down in the goal crease. And we've got a battle going on between Helene and Lane Lambert. And the two of them go to the ice, and the linesman in between them. And Smith is still down, kneeling down in the goal crease, and the other two players flat on the ice off to the right of the net.
Now, there was a lot of action around that net.
Randy Ladouceur drops it off for Reed Larson. Larson being chased by Trottier. Plays at center ice now to Duguay. Duguay ahead to Yzerman over the line. Yzerman going right in. He scores! And the Red Wings now are 3-2 as Steve Yzerman made no mistakes, cutting right in on top of Billy Smith. And Larson draw the assists on the goal. Now here's Kelly Kissio back over the line. Kissio drops it off. Boulder have a centering pass. Took the shot. They score! And the Red Wings have tied the game. Lane Lambert cutting right in on top of the net. Here is Potvin out at center ice. Dennis Potvin feeds it ahead to Leader, and Leader backhands it in behind the Detroit goal. Mikula stops it there for Greg Smith. Now it is Greg Smith. Lifting the puck center ice, knocked down by Nystrom. He held it in. Nystrom handed it off the house, and he scores! Oh, the Wings gave it away in their own end, and Mikula fires the puck back. Very unhappy, and Howsam has 2 goals in his first game.
And Howsam come awful close to getting his 3rd goal. He worked his way through the middle, and just as he was getting ready to shoot, he was partially pulled off the puck, and Mikula had to jump to let him slide underneath him. This kid coming into the league has already scored 2 goals in his first night up.
Bounce back along the boards, and the Islanders shoot it back to the Detroit line. And Yzerman did everything in the world except get that puck into the net that time. Here's Gilbert back into the Detroit zone. Sent sprawling on a check by Ladouceur. Now Ladouceur feeds it up the right side to Reed Larson. Coming out center ice, Duguay. Ron Duguay shovels it ahead to Yzerman. Back over the line, Yzerman. Boudelier ahead of him. Yzerman pulls up, drops it back for Larson. Larson moves out in front with a shot. He scores, and the Red Wings have tied it. We have 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the 3rd period. The game tied 4-4 here at Nassau Coliseum. 3 of the Islanders move out. Trottier over the line, drops it off for Gilbert, and coming back, the check made by Yzerman. Now the Wings move out, and here's Ogrodnik on a breakaway with Duguay. Duguay back to Ogrodnik. He scores! And the Wings lead at 5-4 as the Islanders had 4 men trapped out in front of the Detroit goal.
Well, the two Islander defensemen run into one another and fell. And this was a clear-cut blue line breakaway from the Detroit blue line. 2 on nobody. Ogrodnik made the play across to Duguay. That would get Smith thinking, and then Duguay made the play back to Ogrodnik, and he snapped it the moment he got it.
Detroit goal is 30 seconds.
Here's Brent Sutter bringing it back into the Detroit zone. Hands it off to Flatley. Puck at the line. Came back to Potvin. 30 seconds to go. Tonelli in behind the net. Gives it there to Howsam. His pass knocked away, and Mikula grabs it in the goal crease and holds on. And out in front of the net, 2 players go to the ice, and in behind the goal, Colin Campbell and Tonelli shoving at one another. That's Ladouceur down on top of Flatley.
Talk about taking a player out. That has taken him out.
Now all 5 of the Red Wings lined up right out in front of Corrado Mikula. Face off really to the rim of the circle. Trottier in against Sittler again. And Duguay and Flatley do a little shoving, and they're having words. And now Duguay dropped the gloves and went after Flatley. Flatley had given him a little shot. And I'll tell you, Ron Duguay, I haven't seen this before. He is really mad. He has gone after Flatley, and the 2 linesmen go in between them. Duguay was swinging punches with nobody near him.
Well, you know what started there. Flatley made a play on Dugay's skates before the puck was dropped to try to knock Duguay off balance. That was before the face-off. And that's a trick with hockey players. Anything at all to distract a player just as the puck is getting ready to be dropped. He just knocked Dugay's skate, and Duguay took a little exception to it. Decided to drop the gloves. There was no punches thrown, but Duran was doing a little shadow boxing. He looked pretty good.
Flatley is a pretty good...
He's a pretty big boy. He's 6'2" or 6'3", although Duguay is big, too.
Flatley actually got the stick behind Duguay.
That's right. He hit it, pulled his skate.
Could have had a penalty. Maybe should have had a penalty. They each get roughing penalties. So that means now that the Islanders are really upset. They brought the face-off out over the Detroit blue line. On the wings, lead at 5-4. Darryl Sittler in against Trottier. Puck bounced around on the line. Look out, moving in. Sutter with a shot that goes wide. And this hockey game is over. And the Red Wings, trailing in the game, came back with 2 goals. Larson to tie it at 13:35, and John Ogrodnik to win it from Duguay and Larson at 17:07. And Detroit breaks a 12-game streak without a victory by picking up a big one here tonight against the New York Islanders. We'll be back to recap it all for you, but let's pause first for this message.